Coming up on Classic Blend 56, we have some Iadanza.
I'll give you some Mick.
How about some guests?
Kids.
Rods.
Swampy.
Airplanes.
Sweaty.
See you in a second. And here we are, nestled comfortably in Classic Blend 56.
This is true. This is episode 56.
I said 56.
Yeah. No, I was reiterating.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, no.
Chris, in honor of an article that I recently wrote.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to know your best Friday the 13th memory.
I think I have a couple. One would be when because I didn't jump into Friday the 13th until after he had the hockey mask and was full on Jason.
Yeah.
Going back and seeing like the original where he just wore that sack on his head.
Well,
Like
no.
It was like a.
That was part 2.
Well, no, to me that was going back.
That was part 2.
Yeah, but the way in my memory, the way it worked was I saw whatever was, because I don't think I saw 1 first. I might have seen like 3 first, and then went back and saw 1, and then anyway, to me that was like, because that was the past, and I was like, oh dang, he didn't even have that mask on. Like I like that. That was cool.
What did he look like in part 1?
I don't remember.
It was his mother.
And the whole thing was just his mom?
It was pretty
I don't
much his
remember.
mom.
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember.
The very end, there was a little boy, Jason, but
right. But
that was it.
But this is my point. My memory of him was with the mask, and then when in my memory, I go back and like, oh, that's how that was. Like that's when he started.
I had a weird thing where I had Saturday the 14th and Friday the 13th backwards. I used to think that there was a spoof movie. Yeah. Not based on Friday the 13th. It had like Dracula and like the merman guy or whatever in the bathtub. And that was like, I used to think that was Saturday the 14th was the scary one with Jason. And I remember there being like a scene with like quicksand or something like from a commercial. Yeah. And then Saturday the 14th, or Friday the 13th was the spoof one. Right. And then so I still have this weird thing where if I think about Saturday the 14th for a second, I think of like that scene from the commercial that I used to think was, I got you, the opposite. So it's so weird. The commercial on TV, man, come on, crazy. So it's crazy. So anyway, Classic Blend, we take movies, we take TV shows, we take in this instance we're going to take toys,
and your favorite cartoons.
Well, in this one we're going to take our toys. Not mentioning the cartoons. We're not doing it in this episode.
Cartoons. And
then we're going to go into the video games, and we're going to take them, and we're going to smush them together, and we're going to make something new, but we're going to talk about them. He doesn't know what I have. I don't know what he has. Fact.
So we're randomly chosen these properties in each of these categories, and then we're going to, like Kenny said, talk about them, and then we're going to make something brand spanking new.
Fact. And hopefully one day we'll bring these to you. They will come to fruition. We'll pluck them off the tree, and we will taste the sweetness that is their juices.
Good. Can't say it better. Good.
Movie Squat. Let's go.
Movie Squat. Movie Squat. We're in it. We're doing it. It's 80s. It's 80s movies time. We're at the movie theater. You got the weird bucket of popcorn.
Put the Walkman away, right?
Oh, turn off of your cell phone, just turn off your Walkmans, and
that's it.
When did Discman come? This is 90s, right?
Yeah.
This is 90s.
It wasn't really an 80s thing.
Remember you always wanted the Walkman with the skip protection?
God, yeah. I remember I had a Panasonic one. It wasn't a Discman or anything like that, but I had it on my Jeep seat one time. Yeah. And I stepped on the brakes like really hard, and it went flying off the seat. Yeah. As things often do when you do that. And it went flying on the floor and never skipped. It had like that 8-second buffer. It was like, whoa, 8 seconds. But is that enough?
It didn't scratch anything?
Didn't scratch anything. Didn't do anything. From the seat. And those were like bench seats too.
You got lucky. You're right.
It was good stuff.
You got lucky. Anyway, Movie Squad, where we take 2 random movies that we've chosen, and we're gonna talk about them, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a brand new one.
I don't like the word chosen because it sounds like we chose them.
I say it's randomly generated for us.
Yes.
Randomly generated for us.
Right.
Okay, whatever.
So he doesn't know what I have, but now he will.
And go ahead. Let me see what you got.
Here we go.
She's out of control. What?
There we go. She's out of control.
She's out of control.
You're welcome.
All right, let me show you mine. Boop, beep, beep.
Crocodile Dundee. Nice. This okay.
Dundee.
All right. I'm getting it. I'll give you a little tidbit of information about this. She's out of control.
Tell me. Tell me what we got going on.
Number 1, starring Tony Danza. Amy Dolenz.
Really?
Dolenz. I don't
Amy
know why I
Dolenz.
said
Hold on.
Yeah.
From where else? Where's she from? I recognize that name, but I don't remember from where though.
I'll get into that.
All right, fine.
All right, and then Catherine Hicks. Okay, so premise is Tony Danza's got a little girl. He's got another little girl too, who's a tomboy. The one that we're talking about, the she's out of control from the title, 15 years old. He goes on a business trip. He comes back. His girlfriend, Tony Danza's girlfriend, like makes her over. You know, she had braces and crazy glasses and stuff, and now she's like ready to date, and he's not ready for that.
Right. Of
okay.
Course, yeah.
So that's what happens. You know, when he left to go on his business trip, she's dating this guy that he liked from next door. Like, oh, he's a good boy. You know, that you guys are together and everything like that. Now she's got like all these boyfriends and everything like that. And at the end of the movie, she ditches them and she stays with that guy, and everything's good. But then the younger daughter, oh, now it's her turn, and that's like where it's like
I do remember this movie.
So gonna give you a little bit about it. Tony Danza plays Doug Simpson. His daughter is Katie, who's Amy Dolenz. And then don't even I don't want to hear about it. So he's a radio manager. Like I said, he went on a business trip. I'm going to give you some information here, okay? First of all, Alan Silvestri did the music for this. Alan Silvestri, what else did he do? Back to the Future trilogy, all of them. He did Forrest Gump. He did a lot of stuff with Robert Zemeckis, okay?
Okay.
Predator.
So it's that type of music. Okay,
More recently, Ready Player One.
Oh, he did?
And he's doing the music for Avengers Infinity War.
Oh, wow.
He also did Avengers, Captain America. Like,
wow,
this guy.
Yeah.
And he did this movie.
Really?
Yes.
Cool.
So,
okay.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
All right, so here you go. Trivia. Dustin Diamond played a guy in the movie called Beach Boy.
Really?
Tying into the whole Beach Boy thing, Amy Dolenz is the daughter of Mickey Dolenz, who was the drummer for the Monkees.
Right.
Okay.
But that's not where I know her from.
Right, but that you wonder where I'm going with this Beach Boys Monkees. Mickey Dolenz' real name is George Michael Dolenz Jr.
Really?
Yep. So here we have this trio of music.
Yeah.
Back from the 80s. And
that's crazy.
Oddly enough, the working title for the film was Daddy's Little Girl.
Yeah.
There's a song on the soundtrack album called Daddy's Little Girl by Brian Wilson, who's a Beach Boy.
Yeah, wow.
Right? Dustin Diamond plays Beach Boy in a movie. That's his.
You really tied some strings on some tacks here, didn't you?
That's not all. Chris, what's your nationality?
American.
What's your nationality? What's your background?
Italian.
What's your ethnic background?
Italian.
How much Italian?
100% Italian.
Tony Danza's got you beat, Chris. He's 300% Italian.
How can he be 300%?
Why? Because your name is Chris. His real name is Antonio Salvatore Iadanza.
Iadanza, I didn't know
That's the trifecta.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
so he's 3 times more Italian than you are.
Okay.
Moving on. What do you have? Tell me about Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee, 1986, directed by Peter Feynman.
Yep.
This starred Paul Hogan, Linda Kozlowski. Okay. I'll give you another person after that. This is about a man named Michael J. Crocodile Dundee. His name is Michael J. Dundee, and they call him Crocodile. Really? Yeah, that's his name, Michael J. Dundee.
Wow.
Okay.
Because it makes you wonder if this movie was going to be like about a fox instead.
Yeah, right.
Right. And they were like, no, we're going to go with crocodiles on this one.
So, I'm going to give you the real brief. Sue Carlton, Carlton or C-H-A?
Carlton?
Charlton? I know, yeah, good. It's pretty good. Would the C-H-A be K or Char? I'm going to call it Carlton. It's probably like a C-H. Carlton.
I'll say Charlton.
Whatever. She's a reporter for a newspaper. She goes to Australia to do a story about a man she heard lost his leg fighting a crocodile. She gets there.
Oh, see, I was going to make a joke and say that was somebody who lost a shrimp on the Barbie.
No, well, come on. You're better than that.
I know. I'm sorry.
I will get into that Australian nationality thing in a second.
We'll go.
So what happens is she goes there, she meets him, and he's like, obviously he didn't lose a leg, he just got a scar from fighting a crocodile, whatever.
Sure.
He's like, she doesn't think that he's all this and that, and she's and he makes a disparaging comment that, hey, Sheila's, meaning a woman, can't be like a bushman, right?
Gotcha.
So she ends up going out to do her own little walkabout, and he basically follows her, and he saves her from a crocodile and from a whole bunch of other things. And, she's like, oh, well, maybe you are pretty cool. Maybe you're right. And he's like, yeah, I think I changed my mind. You're pretty cool, her boss decides, oh, why don't you bring him to New York and we can finish your story here with him.
Gotcha.
She goes back to New York. She ends up getting engaged to some D-bag that she was dating, right? Meanwhile, she's kind of falling for him and he's kind of falling for her. This is Dundee and Sue. And it ends up where she doesn't marry the guy, and there's that scene at the end inside the subway where he walks across the people to get to her, and they end up kissing and getting together at the end. Mm-hmm. That's the story. Lots of things happen. He fights a crocodile. He fights a snake. He fights some kangaroo hunters.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Here's the thing. Couple things. Reginald Vell Johnson was in this.
Oh, as a cop?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I think he was just
off-duty cop.
Yeah, no.
Retired cop?
I don't think he was a cop, man.
Brother of a cop?
No, he was Father just in cop. It. He wasn't even like a big role. It was just in it.
Gotcha.
But here's the thing. Paul Hogan. Mm-hmm. Okay. Australia's own Paul Hogan he's a comedy guy. Yeah. He's a comedian.
Always.
He had the Paul Hogan show, which was a sketch comedy show.
Right.
And he had the idea to do
Monkeys had a show.
Yeah, called The Monkeys. But he had an idea to do this movie when he was in New York. He's like, oh, what would happen if like a Bushman came to New York and was here and this and that. So he came up with the idea. Also, he also saw it as a way to
he wanted a vacation. I wonder what it's like for a couple people who have a YouTube/podcast show to go to Australia.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be kind of crazy. Let's write something real quick.
Yeah.
Chris and Ken board plane to Australia.
Fight kangaroo.
And finish the movie squat.
Yeah.
And move on
in
to
Australia.
Yes.
But no, he wanted it to also be like a pride thing for Australia because it wasn't really.
I gotcha.
You want to represent Australia.
You want to represent Australia by taking the movie elsewhere. That's usually the best course of action.
Well, make it international. Here's another little piece of information. Apropos to us and where we live. She worked for a newspaper called Newsday. Mm-hmm. Yes, that Newsday, the Newsday that we grew up with.
Shout out to Newsday.
Yeah, the Dolans. I'm not kidding. That's the
Amy Dolans?
Not Amy Dolans, but the Dolans were the ones.
I don't
know if they still do, but when I used to work for Cablevision.
Yes.
And that's it. Oh, here's another little tidbit. They were married after a while. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. After the movie.
Did he write that in there?
No. This was after the movie. He got divorced.
Like, we couldn't find an actor, so we hired a real
They got married
priest.
in 1990 and divorced in 2014.
Okay.
It's crazy, right?
What, that they lasted so long?
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Intercontinental relationships
all right, here we're going to go.
Often don't last. That's what they say about the long distance kind of thing. So Amy Dolan's wrestled an alligator in scene 1 of She's Out of Control. That's the...
Are you kidding me right now?
No.
What?
I am.
Okay.
That's where she's out of control.
She's out of control.
She's wrestling another crocodile.
This is...
So we have an Italian and we have an Australian.
Okay, I see. Okay. I was going to say, what about we make the younger daughter, right? You said that was...
Yes.
I mean, yes, it's easy to do it, but...
Is Bonnie.
So why don't we just pull Bonnie in? But why don't we make it like she's in her 20s now, or she's like just graduating high school and she wants to go to
why don't we do a little bit of this? You're saying 20s, but I mean in the movie she was obviously underneath 14.
I'm trying to make it different. I'm just trying to make it different.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Because normally
this movie
like,
was 29 years ago.
What year?
1989.
89.
Yeah, I didn't give you any of that information. 1989, whatever, it doesn't matter. So, yeah, this movie's a long time ago.
Yeah, well.
So why don't we have it? She's in her 30s. All right, she's in her mid 30s.
She has a kid.
And no, she
marries an Italian guy. She marries an Australian guy.
How about Crocodile Dundee has a son of Dundee,
Sue. Huh? With Sue.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they have a son.
Okay.
Which they had back. What year was Crocodile Dundee?
Because there was also a Dundee
I know,
2.
There was a Dundee
is there
2.
3?
I don't think there was a 3. What year was this?
86.
Okay, so 86. So they do have a kid, and they get married. They meet. So now it's kind of the same kind of concept. You have somebody, right? A girl from the United States, because they moved to Australia. Sound good?
There was a 3, Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles in 2001.
Oh, that's right. And that's when they probably met, because this movie might have taken place in...
there was Dundee 2, and then Dundee in Los Angeles.
Always.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna say that they met up, and now his name
is Mick. They called him Mick. That's what she called him. That was like his nickname too.
Mickey Dolans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Michael, because I guess Mick is a. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Go on. Hold on. They called who Mick?
Dundee.
What was his real name?
Michael.
So George Michael
Mick. Yeah,
Dolenz.
That's
they
Mick,
call him
Mickey because it's a nickname for Michael.
Weird.
Yeah. So is Mickey Mouse really named Michael Mouse?
Hold on. Michael Jagger?
What? Where are you coming with Jagger from?
Mick Jagger, dude.
Oh, Mick Jagger. Oh, is his name Mick? Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah, probably.
I never knew that. Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, so you have them meeting them,
Sir Michael Philip Jagger.
There you go. See, so
his name is
we've
Michael.
discovered that Mick and or Mickey is the nickname for Michael.
If your name is Mick, let us know. Do you know anybody named Mick?
Teen Wolf, his name is Michael.
Michael J. Mick?
No, Mick that was the guy's name that was the bad guy in Teen Wolf.
But
on the Dragons.
Hold on a second. If your name is Mick, we got news for you.
Your name's not Mick. Your name is Michael. Yeah. Anyway, this kid's name is Michael. Yeah, keep going. They call him Mickey.
That's fine.
They call him Mickey.
That's fine.
She meets Mickey.
Gotcha.
Bonnie meets Mickey.
Yeah.
And they're in New York, and then he takes he wants to learn about his heritage and goes back to Australia, where his parents are.
Okay, he's studying abroad?
No, that's not.
You don't want to do that?
That's, I mean, sure. Well, he's part Australian, right? He's a part.
Oh yeah.
He's part Aussie, so yeah. They're whatever. They go over there and he's out of control. We call it he's out of control.
Oh, we're gonna call it he's out of control.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on a second. Why? Because he
goes to Australia and he
was straight laced and now he becomes a wild boy.
Yeah, they
like wrestling out
his cousins and stuff from back
yeah
east.
They're all like in the Dundee clan.
Yeah, so they can they're all Bushmen and they go and walk about.
And he's the other one.
That sounds really dumb. I know.
And she links up and then he comes. They meet. Let's go to Australia together. They go to Australia.
Yeah.
And this is Bonnie, right?
Yeah.
And Mickey. Okay. So they do that. They go there, and then she's like, "What? This lifestyle is kind of crazy and everything like that." And then he starts to come out of his shell and revert. And she's like, "Oh my gosh!" Like everybody's like, "Oh, you guys gonna tie the knot? You gonna do all this stuff?" And
she's like, "I don't know if I like him anymore."
No. She's not so sure. But then when she sees the real him, what was like underlying, what was hiding in there.
Oh, she likes
he like saves her. And,
he'll
this,
save
right?
her. Yeah, okay,
and
cool.
that's when it it just clicks.
It clicks.
And that's
okay,
it.
cool.
So so he's out of control,
cool. Or they're out of control. It's out of control.
The continent of Australia is out of control.
Australia, Aussie's out of control.
Yeah.
What do you think? You like tea?
Like it's not like you like to pigeonhole like a whole country / continent.
Can't do that.
But I really would like to go to the Outback right now and have like a prime rib.
Yeah.
Chris, 2 words for you. Bloomin' onion.
Yeah,
you can go for
true.
Right
yeah,
now.
I could. You know what's interesting about Australia? I listen to a lot of Australian podcasts and comedians and things like that. Australia is huge, but not in population.
Right. It's a lot of.
It's so big, and there's
land.
just places. I mean, it's a lot of people.
On the
still.
coast.
It's a lot of people still. The Gold Coast, right? And
but they have a bustling wildlife.
Sydney and Melbourne. They're all those are the two like major cities. And
sure.
But there isn't. It's so much land out there. Like there isn't that. They like these comedians and stuff. They're always just like they make it seem like it's not that big. When it is, but it's
because the thing is like we limit ourselves to a very thin strip of land,
which is hilarious because this is so overcrowded to me,
which is absolutely ridiculous. But it's kind of true,
and it's so little compared to the rest of everything.
But that's the thing is, do you need to go anywhere else? No, because we have everything where we are here. We don't need to leave. We don't need to go anywhere else.
Dude, California, which is 3/4 of the length of this country, is it boggles. I drove down to Florida, and when I hit Florida to get to where my family lived, it's still 5 hours into Florida. And I was like, crazy. 5 more hours, and it took me 24 just to get here, know?
In the middle of the night, we could be in New York City in what, like 45
in
minutes?
Yeah, 45 minutes it'll take us, yeah. Anyway.
During the day, it's another story.
Yeah, please.
During the day,
all right, he's out of control.
You'd be lucky for 2.5 hours.
He's out of control.
He's out of control.
I'm down. I'm good. All right. That was a good movie squat, man. I like that.
Good stuff.
All right.
I like it.
Movie squat's done. TV in the 80s, Kenny, there's nothing like that. Hasn't been since.
Not anymore. They don't really have TV. You know what? I miss TV show intros with theme songs. They don't really do that stuff anymore.
Well, yes, some do, but a lot don't. A lot just go
it's
right
just like
into
it starts like they're just talking and doing things in the
like it's just like you're right. It just doesn't happen anymore. Let me ask you this though.
Thinking fondly on better days.
This guy. But don't you want a little more show? A little more bang, considering there's more commercials. Don't you want a little more?
But that's the thing is, considering there are more commercials, why are there more commercials?
Let's talk about this.
Because they keep trying to push it. Let's just add one more. Let's add one more.
Let's add one more. Well, let's talk about this.
Before you know it, the line's over here.
When the commercials came on, now I don't have.
I'm gonna go make some popcorn.
I don't.
You run to the microphone.
Yeah. Well, these commercials are ridiculous now. I can't. It ruins everything. I don't watch live TV.
But that's the thing is, I don't know if there are less people watching TV now, but it seems like it's like the same commercials over and over again.
Oh, it is. Especially now, a lot of it's streaming.
I watched The Walking Dead.
Yeah, please.
It's the same commercials. That Lisa Matches.
Yeah.
That Microsoft commercial. What will you do with it? It's the same thing.
The Lincoln commercial with Matthew McConaughey. Yeah. Anyway, that's not where we're at. That's so far in the future. We're back in the 80s.
Just nestled comfortably.
Right? Exactly. It's a warm the blanket that your grandma knitted. You're on that ugly brown and cream colored couch with the dark wood.
Loving it. I'm loving it.
So TubeSquat is where we take was where we randomly generated 2 shows, one for each of us. We don't know what each other has. We get them. We'll reveal them. We talk about them. We reminisce, and then we make our own TV show. So having said all that, Kenny's gonna look at what I have, and it is.
He has Kids. Oh, Kids Incorporated.
Kids Incorporated.
If I'm not mistaken,
K-I-D-S. What?
If I'm not mistaken, that's a variety show of some sort.
No. What do you have? I can't read that. Arthur Haley's Hotel.
Just hotel.
Oh, hotel.
Just hotel.
Is that
hotel?
What? Hold on. What? Hotel. That's Brolin?
Mm-hmm. James Brolin. Keep going. Tell me about Kids Incorporated.
Kids Incorporated was not a variety show.
We've established that.
It was a musical show. It was a youth-orientated show with musical performances.
Nickelodeon, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was. Okay, so this
I'm
was
way off on this show.
It was started in '84, syndicated from '84 to '86. So I guess that means any network could have it.
Yeah.
Which
Channel 5, Channel 11.
Yeah. So, but then in '86 to '94, it was Disney.
Okay.
So
gotcha. Okay.
You want to consider it a Disney show?
Sure. Yeah.
It spent most of its life there. 9 seasons, 154 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
There was a stable of kids. They rotated a lot. They didn't rotate. There was one or two kids would get swapped out for a new kid, and they would age out. Mm-hmm. The kids would be from like preteen all the way up to teenagers. Graduating high school and stuff. Musical show. It was about a group of kids who performed at a place called the Palace.
Gotcha.
Well, actually, Place, because the A burned out on the sign, so they used to call it the Place. And the plots were they had some fantasy elements. One time there was a talking bicycle. They had to help a lost princess. They met a robot.
About the talking skateboard.
No, that was a
stupid kid with a talking skateboard.
Yeah, that was from JonTron. He watched that movie. Yeah,
didn't expect you to name drop, but
sorry.
I was just hoping you would just been like, yeah.
Whatever. Couple things. There were a couple people in here. You didn't know most of the kids. Some people that were on the show went to go to be like little successfully. Jennifer Love Hewitt played a character named Robin. Most of the kids on the show used their real names in the show, but some, like Jennifer Love Hewitt, didn't. Her name was Robin on the show. And Mario Lopez was on here as a dancer and drummer, but mostly dancer, like in the background and stuff. And that's it. There's some adults would be on the show from time to time. They'd have some adults, stars would come on, and people that you would know. But
gotcha.
That's basically it.
Cool. All right.
So tell me about James Brolin in Hotel.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you about Hotel. It's
You wrote one line.
Why are you looking at my piece of paper?
I can't read it. I can only just see that you wrote like 2
because
lines.
There's nothing to tell you about a hotel. It's about the guests.
Is he the manager?
It's about the guests. It's about the staffs, their personal lives, and their, lives working at the hotel. ABC. It was 5 seasons, 114 episodes. Ran from '83 to '88.
Okay.
Stars James Brolin and Connie Selica.
Connie
right?
Selica.
Connie Selica was in Greatest American Hero.
Yeah.
So Hotel is an Aaron Spelling joint.
Why does it say? What's that guy's?
Because he's the guy who wrote the original book. There was a book that came out in 1965.
5 seasons?
Arthur Haley, and it was a book and it was an old movie as well.
5 seasons.
So there was a movie in 1967. The book came out in 1965, and that's all there was to it. The show, if you look at this list here, was known for guest stars.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit. Just a little.
Yeah, just a
so
tad.
let's see. We're just gonna find one, and we're gonna say Diane Kay. Nobody's even heard of that person.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Ken.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. So we had people. Let's see. We have Gordon Lightfoot, Liberace. We have Kay Lenz is on here. If I'm not mistaken, she was in House or House 2. One of the two. I think House, the original one. Remember that movie House 2 with the talking fish?
I love both of those movies.
Engelbert Humperdinck. There you go. You're welcome.
All right, great. So we have that. Put it down. Let's go. What are we doing?
Robert Guillaume.
Well,
Why not?
go.
Why not? So
Benson.
that's the show. And if you notice, have you ever seen the movie by Tim Burton called Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when Pee-wee had the movie at the end?
Mm-hmm.
And paging Mr. Herman.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Herman,
and
you have a telephone
James
call.
Brolin plays Pee-wee.
Correct.
Yeah.
He played P.W. Herman.
P.W. Herman, right? Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Dressed in the same suit.
And the thing
everything.
is, that's the thing is, I don't think I've ever seen him in
James
anything.
What a handsome dude! Look at that man. That's a handsome man. You have to admit that is a handsome man.
Moving on, we're gonna take Hotel, and it's going to be a dancing. Like there's gonna be a ballroom, and the kids are gonna perform in it.
That's what you're gonna do?
I'm trying to divert the conversation back to what we're supposed to be doing here, because obviously Chris just wants to talk about James Brolin.
Man. What?
Do you want me
Yeah, look at that.
closer to you, or
Who Christian Bale. Doesn't he look like Christian Bale? Or Christian Bale look like him, I guess. That looks like Christian Bale. Especially that. Look at that. That looks like Christian Bale.
Anyway, what are we doing with this?
I had an idea that maybe you could have one of the kids age out from Kids Incorporated
Just grows a beard and becomes James Brolin.
Well, no, but do something, go somewhere else. What if, like you said, what if they become an act at this hotel or something?
Well, that's the thing is Vegas usually has tenures, right? People go there and they perform like every Saturday night. Mm-hmm. Let's go see
Britney Spears, Celine Dion, Diane Warwick. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So, what if this hotel was like that?
Okay, so the kids come in.
Well, not the maybe like
or a couple of them age out, and
maybe
that's
like
where they go.
Yeah,
this is where they move on to the hotel.
Yeah.
And their entertainment at the hotel.
And their entertainment, and now it's like the foibles. It's kind of like the Saved by the Bell when they
college years.
No. Before that, when they worked at
the banana years.
The banana years. Yeah. Before they met her, Roxana. But when they worked at the beach club, what was that with Mr.
I never watched. Saved by the Bell wasn't my thing.
I loved it.
I felt betrayed when that show came on. Never thought it was going to last. You know why I felt betrayed? Because it was Saturday morning.
And it wasn't a cartoon.
And it wasn't a cartoon, Chris. Same with the Mighty Mormon Power Rangers.
I told you he loves cartoons. You don't listen to me. Mighty Mormon Power Rangers, exactly. That was on Saturdays? I just remember that being on after school.
It was on after school, and I don't know. I don't know. I think it came on after X-Men at some point, if I'm not mistaken.
What a great opening, that X-Men show, right? Yep. Okay, yeah, what do you want to call it?
Oh, we're going to call this...
Hotel Incorporated.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
What do you want? I mean, come on. You got to get those out of the way first. You got to get those out of the way.
All right, so we're done here.
We weren't enjoying looking at James Brolin's face.
We're gonna say here. Let's see what his name is in the show here. His name on the show is Peter McDermott.
Oh, what a dumb name.
Peter McDermott.
Pete's Place, and they used
Palace.
Pete's Palace, but it's P apostrophe or star because it was like, no, you don't want to do something like that. Look. That's how they write it with a little star because
I get it. I get it. The A is out. You said that.
What if it was Pete's Huddle and it's like the O is missing, is like goes out, so it's like Instead of Hotel, it's just
hotel.
H. Yeah.
You said hodl.
Yeah, because the O is out on the sign, so it's HTEL. Hodl. Oh no, hotel. It could be still. Oh no, unless you get rid of the E. I don't know. Look, I'm trying here, right? I'm trying here.
Let's call it.
Give me something.
I'm trying to find a word that goes with.
Pizza place. Pizza place. Pizza Palace.
Stop.
Pizza Palace. That's good. We should put that in the bank for something later.
Okay, so his name is Peter, and we're gonna have this thing called
McDermott and Company.
No.
McDermott's Kids.
Where's this hotel located?
Incorporated. It's McDermott's Kids, Incorporated.
Let me see where this hotel is located.
It has
to be like Los Angeles if it's Aaron spelling.
Yeah, right. This doesn't have anything.
Okay, the Fairmont, San Francisco. That's the exterior shots. So
it doesn't mean that's where it took place.
No, that's correct. But I'm going to go ahead and say that it's set in the elegant and fictitious St. Gregory Hotel in San Francisco.
Okay, well...
The novel and the original film was New Orleans.
St. Gregory. How about Greg's Place?
So this is... How about...
This is dumb. Just do something. I don't even care anymore. Sideshow freaks.
I was going to say some stuff.
Dance time.
We can call it Gory Hotel.
Gory?
The GRE is out of the sign, and it just says Gory Hotel.
So apostrophe Gory Hotel? Apostrophe Gory, right?
Gory Hotel.
You gotta put apostrophe on there.
Well, is the Saint out also? Is there Saint Gory Hotel?
Saint Gory.
How about the whole Greg is out, and it just says ST, and then the Greg is out, and ORY, and they call it Story Hotel.
Oh, I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
So now it's kind of going on with something else.
So ST apostrophe ORY?
Yeah, hotel.
Hotel.
Yep, Kids Incorporated.
Peter Palace in the Hotel of Magic. Well,
Peter Palace?
Peter Palace. Oh, I think we're gonna stick with Story Hotel. Because the Palace was the other place. Well, the place or whatever. All right.
They've moved on. They've been ejected.
They moved on. Yeah.
They're not allowed to be. They're not allowed to be at the Palace anymore.
Kids Incorporated.
Oh, I don't know why he does this stuff.
Yes, because the audience loves it. You need to lighten up, man. You need to.
Okay.
So you need to lighten up. All right. Tube Squat. Done.
Toy Squat Chris. Classic Blend 56.
Wait, are you saying that I'm a Toy Squat or Toy Squat Chris? Is this like a new segment or something that you're starting?
I think that's your nickname. They call you the Squat.
No, actually, it'd be Toy Squat Ken because this is your favorite.
Gotcha.
I'd be Toon Squat Chris.
That's right. Oh, is that right? Oh, Toon's your favorite.
No, it's my favorite. I don't hate it as much as you. I enjoy it.
I don't enjoy the.
But you love,
the shallow.
We're not here for that.
Plucking.
Okay, I got you. We're not here for that.
The chuckle patch. I'm not enjoying the same jokes over and over again.
The chuckle patch. I got you.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So, all right, Toy Squat. What we're doing is randomly generated toys. He's got one. I have one. I don't know what he has. He doesn't know what I have. We're going to talk about some cool toys from the 80s, the late 70s, or mid to late 70s, and then mid to early 90s. Right.
All that in there.
Yep. We're gonna smack it together. We don't know what we have.
We don't know what we have, but we're excited to make a brand new toy for the 80s, for the 80s children, for
everybody.
Oh, yeah, for the world. For everybody.
Because 80s children are like 40-year-old men.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
We're close to.
Yeah. All right.
So here's what's gonna happen here. We like to say we're retro squat. All right.
Well, we like to say that because we are. So.
we do, but this puts us to shame. Chris, 1914. What year is that? It's over 100 years ago.
Tinkertoys.
We got ourselves some Tinkertoys.
Wait, wow. Okay.
Yep. So let's move on and tell me what you have. Yep. Can't read that. Oh, he has Boglins. He has Boglins. Awesome. Okay. Cool. Real quick about Tinkertoy. 1914, they came out. Sticks. They go in little spindles and wheels, they call them, and all that. Created by Charles H. Peugeot. I believe it is. He saw kids playing with sticks and empty spindles of thread, and he put them together, and it was his idea. Let's get this thing to build things. They built some pretty elaborate things over the year with it.
Yeah.
Over the years, kind of cool, kind of fun. Just a bunch. It's a building toy, so there's nothing really else to say about that. It's still made to this day. Right, 104 years later, it's still made to this day.
What year?
Some of them are they have the classic. They have the classic versions that are still in wood, and then they have some plastic versions.
What year are you pulling it in for retro for Toy Squad?
It's been in development ever since. It's been produced since then. It was produced in 1980. It was produced in 1990. It was produced in 1975. It was produced in 1995. Yeah. It's produced now in 2018. So
it's universal.
It's forever. It doesn't matter.
Dang.
So it's the same parts. It's the same pieces. That's it. The wood versions, I played with wood versions when I was a kid.
So did I.
You probably did,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Kids today are probably playing with wood versions.
Cool.
Right? It's like Lincoln Logs. Same kind of deal.
Yeah.
They're still made
I
to this
wasn't
day.
a huge fan of those, but okay.
Lincoln Logs are kind of cool. Not going to lie.
Let's jump over to Boglins.
Yeah, tell me about these little guys.
Boglins, first came out in 1987, created by Tim Clark.
Yes.
Maureen Trotto.
Yep.
And Larry Mass. Mm-hmm. All right, those are the...
If I'm not mistaken, Sectors as well. Tim Clark.
Clark, yes. Like I said, 1987, they were produced until 1994. The originals were made from flexible rubber.
Yes.
That could be manipulated to make facial expressions and stuff.
Yeah.
They had eyes, right? They were puppets. So they were puppets.
They were really cool, but they were so unique looking, and they looked like little
they had
creatures.
a little thing inside that you could move the eyes.
Not all, though, right?
No, hold on. Right? The original ones had little things that you could move their eyes and open their mouths and make all these things. There were a lot of different iterations of these things as time went on.
Okay.
I'll tell you before we get into that, very big in the UK. I think bigger in the UK than even in the US. In the US, they were called, it was funny, the names of the three original ones was the ones I showed you were Dwork, Vlob, and Drool. In the UK, they were Dwork, Plunk, and Flurp. Why they changed the names, I don't know, but they did. And those had glow-in-the-dark eyes. So they can.
So in Europe, they didn't have. In the United States, they didn't have glow-in-the-dark eyes?
No, they did. I just meant the original three.
Okay.
So they came in many, many, many different forms after that. You had small Boglins, okay, which were just smaller versions of them. Then you had mini Boglins, which were just, I don't know if you can see if you want to look at it, but little hard plastic ones. Then they came up with the soggy Boglins, which are they're aquatic ones.
Soggy Boglin boys.
Right. Then they came up with hairy Boglins. Then they came up with wiggly tongue Boglins. Then they came up with hairy wiggly tongue Boglins. Then they came up with a Halloween version, and then there were some talking versions that they had.
Right on.
Right.
Yeah.
Then they had Basham Boglins.
Wow.
Okay. Action. They had Action and Basham, and like Action, you could, they could do things like they did squirt water, their eyes popped out. Then they had the Bash ones where you could, bash them up and everything. Then they had baby ones, and they had acrobat ones. All right, the baby ones are kind of cool.
Very cool.
And then they had like the acrobats were like the things you get in like the 25-cent machines. They're like sticky things.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: they came in the original ones. And the ones afterwards also came in these cool cardboard boxes that look like cages. Yeah. And they would open from the top and they could come out and stuff. And I had two of these. I personally had two. My brother had one. So together we had all three of the original three. And then we had one. We had small ones, and then we had a talking one, and then later on got one with the tongue. I kept the cage, and I would put him in there, and that's where he lived all the time. No matter what. He'd be when I wasn't playing with him, he's on my shelf in his cage with the door closed. And I used to play a joke on my brother where I would open the cage and have it not be there. And I'd be like, oh my God, where's the work? Where'd he go? And my brother would be like, stop it. Stop doing it. Stop. No.
Like he was alive.
Yeah. No, do you know what yours is? Do you know what yours is? My brother was always losing his toys.
Really? That's funny.
He just really didn't know where his is. And I'd be like, you know why? Because he ran away from you because the work told him to leave.
I would have waited for him to go to sleep and hung from fishing wire from the ceiling, right in front of his face.
I feel like I might have done something
when he woke up in the
like
morning.
That. Yeah, I might have done something.
I think I said woked up.
Woked up. You woke.
Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, they're coming back.
Well, okay. Well, Tim Clark has been sculpting these ever since.
Yeah.
Okay, and he just did it. He's doing shows with these things, and yeah, he's still making them. They're making sculpts of them and stuff, and he's selling them.
That's awesome.
Getting them signed and stuff. Like
That's
very
really
cool. Very awesome. I love the Boglins. I love the Boglins. I was so happy when I got this. I was just like, yes, this is so fun. I remember and I watched the commercial for it, right? And I showed my wife, and she's like, "Stop! What do you?" Because initially it's just glowing eyes, and you see things moving around. She's like, "Stop! What are you showing me? This is so scary."
They were cool. I never had one, but my friends did, and I remember stick my hand in there and be like, "Oh my gosh, you can move the eyes and all that stuff." Yeah. And the thing is, I wasn't very dexterous. I couldn't really do it.
Open it, like make them talk, and
my friends would be like, "Oh my God, yeah!" Like put their thing in there and then moving the eyes and the mouth
talking,
and stuff. So you could tell that they have practice because they played with the thing for such a long time. And I'm like, this is an idiot, like eyes rolling up in the head, like all this.
I was good
stuff.
too.
So,
I did good.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Anyway, all right. So we've got Tinkertoys and Boglins.
It's like somehow I need to get like a couple fingers in there, a finger, and then like a couple toes.
You're walking around.
I'll get like a couple.
Asking your friend to help.
That's it. Yeah, right. A toe or two will help move the eyeballs.
Yeah,
you know, like as I move the mouth.
More dexterous with your toes than you. Yeah. Oh, you got it. There you go. That's good.
You like that?
What are we doing? It's still a circle? Shut up. Come on.
It's on the spot, man. You see that? Yeah, there you go. Now just tap your head. There you go. All right. He's normal after all. What I was thinking is, what if the Boglins had like pores, for lack of a better term?
Lack of a better term.
Lack of a better term. Lack of a better term. Lack of a. Yeah. So what I was thinking, what if they have like pores, for lack of a better term, where you can stick like rods in them and everything like that, and you can like.
What's the point? What's the point of that?
I'll tell you what the point of that is. It's a community. All right. Think of doozers. Think of doozers, Chris. Just close your eyes and think of doozers.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. What do you see happening?
They're great. I see Fraggles eating all their hard work.
No. The Fraggles aren't eating this stuff.
Okay. No. So what's before the Fraggles get to them.
Listen, you build a house. Chris, you build a house. In this day and age. Let's not go where we think it's where this. Let's not go to the obvious place where this is going to go. Which is, if you build a house, your house stays where it is. If you build a building, it stays where it is. Not go to the obvious. I understand there are stipulations that can enable a structure to
be moved. Right. Okay. Go on. Okay.
What we're going to do is the Boglins live in this thing, and maybe they have baby Boglins. Maybe they have all this stuff.
They do.
But what if they were anchored? What if it was, I'm a Boglin, and I'm going to be an anchor point for this structure? And we would like to have this structure move. We want to have all of our belongings move. And so when we go for a walk, you go for a walk, I go for a walk, and we're the legs, and we're down on the bottom here, and we can move. And the whole structure moves with us. No? Not a good idea?
I don't like that only because...
The more I speak about it, the less it sounds plausible.
Yeah. Well, plausible is one thing, but I don't like the idea of taking these guys and putting them underneath a building. What I was thinking is possibly we take the Tinker toy sets and we build things for the Boglins. Like they can build legs for themselves. They can build
cages.
Right. Well, that was my whole thing, is because they come in cages.
Gotcha. So the Tinkertoys, we can build Boglin cages. You can customize and build your own Boglin cages.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay.
Got it.
It's a new little accessory for Boglins.
That's it.
But not only cages, you could build them a bike. You can build them little machines. Like you can build them things, and they can use them.
Yeah.
But they're all like, so instead of being like wood, they'd be like viney, like plastic with like viney, or wood with like, because they come from the swamp and the bogs
and shapes, and that would be cool. That would be interesting to have sets.
Well,
here's the city set. Here's the organic
bog set,
jungle set, or swamp set.
Yeah.
Right, and then here's the brick set.
Here's the set, but you could say here's the set for Plunk. Here's the work set.
Yeah,
or something. You
could definitely have.
Here's
the
one for the little baby ones, and you can build little baby cages.
All right, I got it. They're in a cage,
right?
But they can also be in their environment,
right? So you can build. Essentially, you're building environments.
I like that. Okay,
that's very cool, right?
I really do like that. So,
Tinkertoys, Boglin toys. Okay, hold on. Let's come on.
Tinkerbog.
We could do better than that. Come on, Tinker. Tinker's a good word for this.
Yeah, Tinkerbog.
No. We could do better than this.
Tinklin
set.
It's a Tinklin. It's not a Boglin.
Tinklin set. Oh no!
You don't like it?
No, not really.
The other way is Bogger toy.
Okay.
Boglin toy.
Let me just throw some words out. Let me throw some tinkering Boglins. Tinker toys for Boglins. Boglin toys that tinker. Tinker for Boglins. Bogtown toys.
Where did I go wrong in life?
Come on, man. You want to call it Tinkerbog.
I said Tinklin.
But that doesn't give any inkling as to what it is.
Did you say inkling because it sounds like tinkling?
Well, it did rhyme, so sure, we'll go with that. But you know what I mean? Like
So, well, Boglin sounds good.
I was like, do a phrase. Can we do a phrase? Can we? It's got to come on. We're better than this. We could do this. It's gonna end up being
tinkering Boglins.
That's what I said. Yeah.
You said that.
Yeah, I said yeah.
I don't like it.
Okay, you don't like it. All right. How about tinkering for Boglins?
Tinkering and Boglins. Tinkering.
Like that's what you're doing. You're creating something for your Boglins. They're
Tinker Tailor Soldier Boglin.
Oh, could we just get a third toy in here? Like maybe like the Army Men or something?
Oh gosh. Tinker Boglin Soldier Spy.
Boglin's Tinker.
Did you ever see that movie? It was the most boring movie ever.
What year is it? Was it in the 80s?
Dude, no. There was a mini series. I don't know when the mini series was. 80s, 90s, maybe. I have no idea. But then there was a movie that came out probably like, I don't know, 7 years ago, something like that.
37 years ago.
It was the longest amount of time I ever sat in a movie theater.
Really? Longer than us trying to figure out this title?
Yeah. Longer than Dances with Wolves and like Gone with the Wind combined.
All right.
Like it was a ridiculously it just there was nothing exciting happening in that movie.
That's your own fault for going there thinking that would be something. Anyway, let's finish this off. Come on, let's have this be another successful Toy Squad. I got to be able to say it. And right now it's not.
All right, so Tinker Toys.
I'm cool with something like Tinkering for Boglins or Boglins Tinkertoys or, you know what I mean?
Tinkering Boglins.
See, I like that. I like that. It's descriptive. I wanted this Tinkertoys. It's descriptive, right? Boglins. What is that? Oh, must be some little creature. And it is. It's got to be descriptive. You got to give it something. Tinklin is not descriptive of anything.
Boglins in Tinkerland.
How about Tinkertown?
Boglins in Tinkertown. Tinkertown Boglins.
Tinkertown Boglins. Oh, that's kind of cool. Because you're basically going to build their town for them. With them. For them.
School buses. This one's going to go on a school bus. Oh, gosh. All right. Tinkertime. Tinkertime.
I like that. Tinkertime Boglins. I think I can deal with that.
Tinkertime. Is that going to be a hyphen?
Well, no. Tinker Toys is 2 words.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
or is it not my opinion and it's the real thing?
No, look. It says Tinker Toy, 1 word.
Oh,
here.
Tinker Toy is 1 word.
Yeah, Tinker Toy is 1
so
word.
Tinkertime, 1 word.
So Tinkertime or Tinkertown?
Maybe Tinker. I like Tinkertime. It's like it's Tinkertime for the Boglins, and they're gonna be like
Tinkertime Boglins. Okay.
You know. Yeah, Tinkertime 1 word Boglins. And
fantastic.
Not only that,
now they have their own little homes and.
Well, that's the thing. I think that title works well because it's like that's the next brand. That's the next set.
Next iteration.
Thank you. Yeah. Very cool.
They've evolved. They're evolving.
Absolutely. Another successful Toy Squad. Yes.
Your brother better watch out because now more places to hide.
No places to hide from him.
Yeah. You've encountered a wild game squat. 56. We're here. Here we are. Welcome, Chris, back for what?
Am I using my light gun? Did it just come out of the bush and I'm using my light gun and I'm going to hit it and the dog's got to go get it? Is that what's happening? Huh? Game squat hunt? Game hunt. Squat hunt. Go on, you were saying?
More like game squat, Chris.
Game squat.
You have a game that I don't know about. selected, randomly generated by you.
You have a game that I don't know about.
Yes, this is not the first game I'd choose. However,
you could choose
it is what it is.
Okay.
It swings your way.
I don't like the sound of that.
You have no choice, and you have to do things with it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to tell you about this game. First, I'm going to reveal it to you.
You're going to reveal it, but then we're going to combine the two that we both get, and we're going to make a new game. You know I go first, right? Seahawk.
Oh,
gosh. Fine. That's fine.
We're going first.
Seahawk. That's fine.
Tell me what you have, Chris.
Wait. Let me just get the time on that.
Seahawk
for what?
Atari 2600.
Oh, the 2600. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, need I say more?
Wrestle War on the Sega Genesis. Now, is that that's the United States title? Wrestle War, or is that what?
So you want me to talk first? I'll talk first.
I would like to hear about your game first because you're supposed to go first. However, but the screenshot you showed me is from Mega Drive. I just want to make sure it's the same game title in the United States.
Well, it's it's the same game title.
Wrestle War.
Yeah, it's Wrestle War.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. Well, because it was the arcade, and it was an arcade game. It was an arcade game, and then for the Mega Drive.
Okay.
So.
Well, Mega Drive or Genesis. Because if it's Mega Drive, it does not count because we're talking about Sega Genesis over here.
Well, it's from Sega. We'll do arcade. Actually, the one I wrote arcade. Yeah,
so it's an arcade game.
1989 for arcade. Okay. Well, that was the box on there, but Wrestle War. Yeah.
Okay, so if it's an arcade game, it's an arcade game.
Gotcha. This game was a part of the Sega Smash Pack.
Ooh, Sega Smash Pack. I remember that. That was like it was a set for like what the
series of game compilation featuring mostly Sega Mega Drive games.
So for like the Xbox 360 or like the PlayStation 2,
they released it for the PC, Dreamcast, and Game Boy Advance. Okay. Moving on, this game you are Bruce Blade, and you are a rookie wrestler.
I heard Banner.
No. You are a rookie wrestler, and you have to fight a series of matches to win the Sega Wrestling Alliance belt. All right. You used, there was a power meter for your grappling.
Gotcha.
And all the wrestling moves that there were.
All of them.
There was a roster of characters. It's short. I like to go over with it. You had to fight Mohawk Kid, Sledgehammer, based on Bruiser Brody.
Yeah.
Mr. J, based on Jason from Friday the 13th. Don.
Hold on. What does he look like? I need to know more about Mr. J.
I'll show you. Just picture a wrestler in the short shorts with the Jason mask. I'll get it for you in a second.
Short shorts? Jason would never wear short shorts.
Don Dambuster, based on Road Warrior Hawk.
Jason never even wore like sleeveless.
I know. Then you had Mad Dog Nimrod Falcon, which is generic high-flying mask wrestler. Yeah. Titan Morgan, based on Hulk Hogan. Buckskin Rogers, based on Stan Hansen. And Grand Kong, based on Abdullah the Butcher.
So what I'm getting out here is somebody thought that Hogan and Morgan were interchangeable names.
Apparently. Hulk, Titan, Morgan, and Hogan. Yeah.
Interesting. There was a meeting about that.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't have free reign. They weren't like, hey, the graphic artist, you don't have free reign on this.
Look, I don't know, man. Just a nightmare. But, what's cool is...
I would have called him like Andre the Hulk. And been like, all right, we know where that's going.
But what's cool is...
Where that came from. Yeah, what's cool is what? It's a wrestling game.
There's Jason.
Which one? You show me Jason getting pinned?
Right there.
He doesn't have the shorts on.
No, I meant the Speedos. Sorry, I meant the Speedos. I was reading.
But he doesn't. He has long pants.
No, he doesn't have Speedos. Are you blind? Look, he's wearing Speedos and knee pads.
Thanks for breaking out the 5-inch tablet, Chris, and then turning it profile so that the video is tiny.
I forgot you're blind. Look, he holds his mask up when he beats him.
I think that's fantastic. Anything that references Splatterhouse on the TurboGrafx 16 referenced Jason Voorhees.
Look, there he is. Getting his face smashed.
He's a little purple.
Yeah, I know.
But he doesn't have bare legs.
Well, he's wearing knee pads. He's wearing
so his whole body is painted purple, is what you're telling me. No, that's not just like a spandex suit.
No. Oh, you thought he was wearing a suit? No, he's not wearing a suit, Kenny.
Stupid egg.
And he's got green hair.
Stupid egg suit. So
he's got green hair.
Sum up everything about my game.
What was it called again?
Seahawk.
For the Atari 2600.
This is the whole game, Chris. It kind of looked like Defender, except it's just you're in airplane or you're a jet shooting helicopters and bombing boats. That's the game. Period.
Oh my gosh.
Done.
What do we do?
What do we do? Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this game. It's made by Froggo. It came out in 1982 for the Atari 2600, and it's a shooter, horizontal shooter. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you can't argue with that. There's some interesting things about this game. I'm going to tell you something interesting about the game, but first I want to tell you that there was a character named Seahawk on She-Ra.
Oh yeah.
Who was a pirate. So what's going to happen here? Enemy missile hits the plane. Okay, now you eject out of the plane.
Oh.
Kind of cool for 2600, especially 1982.
It was a little pixel, right?
Yep.
You were a little pixel.
And you had to try to land on a friendly ship. If you landed on a friendly ship,
you know what? I'm sitting here looking at that, and you're telling me that, and I'm like, I had that game. Yeah. I definitely had this game. You land on a
friendly ship, and you don't lose a life.
I definitely had that game because I remember my older brother and I trying to constantly do that.
That's pretty cool, right?
That's really cool.
I think that's awesome. There were ways in the past to get around the graphics limitations of the day.
Well, if they had good gameplay,
they had these interesting gameplay elements. There was River Raid, where you had fuel.
Right.
It's not a realistic game by any means, but they tried. They tried to do something with it where you're not just, it's not space, Space Invaders was kind of static or whatever, but
right.
It wasn't just what you saw.
That was being creative.
There was more. That's
what being creative. That's what making games is. Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of cool. I think that stuff is really neat, and it's a little bit more than because they could have gotten away with it where that's all you do.
Okay,
but they added that element. And
How about this? Okay, I don't know the title yet, but in our game, your plane gets hit. You have to land on a ship,
and you wrestle somebody
in a wrestling ring, and you have to wrestle. And if you lose a life. And if you win, you get to keep the life, or you get an extra life. You get an extra plane. You have to beat the match to get the new plane.
How about this? Super Mario Brothers came out, right? And it was a 2-player game, alternating.
Yeah.
See, did you ever play Super Mario Brothers with somebody, and you're like, okay, I'll be Luigi, and it's like, and you're going through the whole game, and they're not dying once, and you're just like. Or even better, they die, you play, and you accidentally get hit by like the first Goomba, and you're like, oh, and now they're playing for another 25 minutes.
Or they're playing, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. If you die, wait for me.
Yeah, no,
and then they're back, and you come, and they're back where they were when you left, and you're like, you died. Well, you didn't come back. Or my brother,
then they killed you.
You didn't die, right? Yeah.
So that's kind of like what it is. So anyway, 2-player game.
Gaming, for nothing, man. Hold on. Gaming I loved it, but how did we survive that? Like, that was just a nightmare sometimes. Like, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
It was some fun times.
All right, what are we doing? What do you want to do?
I remember playing one time, and I never even got the control. My friend beat the game. He went through the whole entire game on one life.
You're like, all right, well, it's time for me to go home now, so I guess I won't play this game. I'll see you next week.
That? Did you ever beat Super Mario Brothers on one life?
Yeah. Wait, no. I think in one like run. No, not in one life. No.
Yep, I did it.
Did you really?
I beat Super Mario Brothers in one life, and I remember going through the game, and I had the firepower at the end, or I was big at the end. Yeah, I either had firepower or I was big, because when I went in there, I didn't even care. I got to Bowser,
and whatever happened,
I didn't even care. I didn't even try to avoid him or anything, because I knew I could get hit once, and then just hit the axes little.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like. It's kind of cheap because I did get hit.
I always did that. That's when I always did that.
So
I always
that's
take
what
that
I did.
hit
I just
to get
did it.
that.
I took the hit
Not
and
cheap.
I got there.
It's a mechanic of the game. You use the game mechanics
so that's
to beat
what
it
it was. And I was just like, I got to him and I was so excited and I just ran and I didn't care. I got hit by an axe or fire or whatever the heck it was. Man. And just hit the little, or I went to hit the axe. The last Bowser, did he throw axes too?
Yeah.
He did.
I think he did
throw axes and the fire and everything like that. It was just crazy. I just remember running and I just didn't care.
I think so.
I just got to the bridge and I just ran and I just shrunk and just hit the axe and
that's how you do it, man.
Game. So
what are you thinking? What are you thinking? I gave you my idea.
It wasn't a big deal back in the day. I probably did that like in the 90s or something like that,
What, finally beat it?
Late 80s or early 90s. No, beat it like with one life.
No, I'm sure it was something. I'm sure it was.
But I'm saying like now people are actually like they go through it and they're trying to do like
speed runs.
Speed runs like as quickly as possible, and they try to go through how far can you go on one life, and they try to people actually use that stuff now because these older games are easy, right?
No, but
easy some of them, and they try to go through them. They try to
But see, but they
people
weren't,
shave off
though.
like millimeters of a second and things like that. You know,
they weren't that. That's the thing.
People have been,
that's why they're so good.
But they've gotten so.
Mega Man 2 is hard, dude.
Yeah, just the ingenuity in taking these old games, and it's for face value. I mean, they gave you point. There were points in Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
who cares?
Just because there was always points in games.
But yeah, that's the thing.
They give
the
something
only reason why
to,
it was there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, but the thing is, you had that, and now people are today. As the game is 30-something years old. Like people are finding new ways to play it, and I think that's just amazing.
Fantastic.
I think that's great
because the '80s never died.
I know.
Do you understand?
I know.
That's what the show is about. Now, get back to what we're doing. The task at hand.
So okay, so
I gave you my idea.
One player, who's playing Seahawk.
Okay.
They're playing the plane.
Okay.
Second player's waiting for them on the ship. So when you eventually do get hit, you land.
But it doesn't have to be a second. It could be. But you AI, always, right? If you're playing one player, what if you don't have any siblings or friends and you want to play the game?
No. It could be, obviously. But I'm giving you a two-player
scenario. No, I like it, yeah.
So two-player scenario, they go down, they're waiting for you on the plane or on the aircraft carrier or whatever. They get down there, you fight. Whoever wins now goes back into the plane.
Okay, yeah.
Or you get another plane, just walk. Or they put you in another plane and launch.
Like Urban Strike.
Yeah, but we don't want to be we don't want it to be difficult to land to do the fight. We don't want it to be difficult. Right.
No, how about it automatically brings you down there?
Well,
maybe you have to tweak it a little bit.
You'd have to go out of your way to land in the water.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not that
because you want that mechanic. You want that to come in.
Yeah. And
how about if there's only one player playing and you haven't picked the 2-player mode, you have to get yourself on that boat. But if it's a 2-player mode, you'd have to try hard to miss it. So does the fight
happen in
single player mode? It has to happen. It does. It does. But you have to make sure that you get to that fight because you could miss and land in the water. But if it's in 2-player mode,
gotcha. All right. So in the beginning of this game, do we choose who the
first player always always starts as the plane?
One of my favorite concepts, of this game is that you choose a pilot/wrestler.
Yes, I like it. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that.
Like there's no G suit. They're not wearing like a G suit.
No, he's just in the stupid
It's basically
spandex.
It's a spandex G suit.
Yeah, and you can maybe you can unlock stupid others.
I think it's great, and the boots. The boots have it in there too. To keep the blood pooling, right?
Yeah,
and everything. So they have like all this system in there. So I like that. I think that's a good idea.
That's cool. Wrestle War. This is called Seahawk.
Yeah, so I was
two words, Seahawk?
Seahawk, 2 words. I was thinking we can call it WrestleHawk.
I was going to call it, what if we called it Plane War?
Oh, I think that's...
Wrestle Plane.
No.
Plane.
No.
Wrestle Pilot.
No.
Wrestle Pilot.
Oh, hold on a second.
Say it again. Wrestle Pilot. Because it's another pilot. That guy's a pilot too.
Know.
And there's only one plane apparently, and you have to share the plane.
Wrestling pilots.
Wrestling pilots.
Pilot. Pilot fight.
Pilot fight. Yeah.
You like pilot fight?
I like pilot fight. I like that. That's cool.
I was thinking like pilot light. And then
pilot fight. No, pilot fight is good. That's what it is.
I know it's a pilot fight.
It's great.
Yeah.
Can they wear the wrestling outfits but wear the flight helmet in the planes? And it could be like that cheesy Tecmo Bowl.
I want one with a Jason mask, the hockey mask.
Yeah.
He's got to have a hockey
on the visor, yeah. And then when they get in the ring, they just bloop, bloop, and they take it off, and then you have to fight.
That's a good idea.
I like it, man.
So we're gonna call it wrestle.
No, pilot fight.
Pilot fight or pilot.
I'm writing pilot fight.
Hold on.
It's written down. No,
I know.
It's canon now.
I know, but I was gonna say pilot. Hold on. What is another word for what are all
pilot
these,
war?
No. Wrestling like things. Slam. Pilot slam.
Pilot slam. Okay. Pilot mania.
Pilot slam. Pilot
slam.
Oh gosh, wrestling pilots. I think it's the coolest thing in the world.
Oh my God. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah.
We'll get to it. Okay.
Yeah. 1 sec. Pilot slam. Either pilot fight
slam.
Or pilot slam.
All right, we're calling it to a vote right now. Pilot slam.
All right, guys. Pilot slam. Or if you're listening to this, we're on Twitch streaming this live, so we're gonna ask our viewers. So we got pilot slam or pilot fight. What do you think?
It's basically jet fighter pilots that when their plane gets hit in the game, you have to parachute out, land on an aircraft carrier, and into a wrestling ring, and wrestle player 2, and then whoever wins the wrestling match gets to go back up in the plane and continue the game. So we're putting it to a vote.
Look what's on the screen. Can you see? He's holding the stupid mask.
Yeah, it's still. You showed me that before.
We should play this. Is it 2 players?
Oh, it has to be.
We should play it. You know?
So, what are we saying here?
Nothing. I got nothing yet. So, my vote would be Pilot. I like Pilot Slam. Just exclamation at the end. You know? What do we have? Navy saves the day. Thanks, Mike.
Mike's in here?
Yeah.
What's up, Mike?
I'm going with Pilot Slam.
Pilot Slam. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Pilot Slam. Pilot Slam with exclamation mark.
Saturday night Pilot Slam. Sunday night Pilot Slam.
Thursday evening Pilot Slam. Tuesday
morning,
evening.
Saturday Mormon Pilot Slam.
The Book of Mormon Slam.
Stop. See, now you ruined it. There was
Pilot
Power
Slam.
Rangers reference.
Pilot Slam all the way. Yeah, Pilot Slam. Yeah. Everyone's saying Pilot Slam.
Pilot Slam it is.
Pilot
Unanimous.
Slam. Exclamation point, right? Very cool.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Okay, that's it. GameSquat.
GameSquat's out. So we're gonna go from the top.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go through all this stuff. Here we go. Watch this. Watch this.
You never look more older.
We're gonna.
Than I've never seen you before in my life.
Nope. She's out of control.
Stop looking at me like that. We'll get to the comments in a section, guys. Give us one say. All right.
We had.
I wrote. Oh, I didn't write.
Starring Antonio Salvatore Iadanza, better known as
Tony Danz.
Really?
The Big T.
Hold on a second.
The Big T.
I think this is called. What was his name? Tony Maselli, right?
Tony Maselli. Yeah.
And Who's the Boss?
Yeah.
So you might know him as Tony Maselli.
He's out of control. We had Crocodile Dundee. She's out of control. He's out of control.
Let's go over it a little bit.
Okay.
And you give it to. Let's tell people what we had was She's Out of Control from 1989, and we also had Crocodile Dundee from 2006.
86.
1986, correct.
Thank you.
I don't know what the heck is wrong with my body. My mouth just spurted out the wrong year. Just decided to go with it.
Decided to go whatever it felt like.
So Bonnie, who was Tony Danza's daughter in the movie, the younger sister to the title, She is Out of Control.
Right.
Marries Paul Hogan and what was the
Sue
and
Carlton.
Sorry, Mick Dundee and Sue's
kid
child.
Yeah. And they go to Australia and
he starts wrestling crocodiles.
Basically, yeah.
And then
he becomes a real Aussie, and she falls back in love with him.
And that's called He's Out of Control.
I like it. That's a good one.
All right, so moving on to Tube Squat, we had Hotel, a TV series from 1983 to 1988, and we mixed it with Kids Incorporated from what year? Someplace in the 80s because it was syndicated and then
80s,
it went to the Disney Channel.
Between 84 to 94.
It probably got popular at the Disney Channel.
Yeah, it's like 86. Let's say its heyday was 86.
86 is its heyday.
Yeah.
So we called this one Story Hotel, which was St. Gregory's Hotel, but some of the parts of the sign were burnt out.
Pulling from that trope that they did in Kids Incorporated.
In Kids Incorporated, if you remember Kids Incorporated, they had a place called the Palace that they would perform at.
And the first A
was out, so they called it the Place.
Yep.
Right, because it made a new word, the Place.
Anyway, yeah. So this was a couple of the kids from there. They age out of the Kids Incorporated, and they ended up going to the hotel to perform there, and zany things happen. Oh, Toy Squad. Toy Squad was good.
Oh, Toy Squad. Okay, here we go. So I had Tinkertoy from 1914 to this present day, 104 years of this toy going on. Chris had Boglins.
87. We had Boglins, the little hand puppets and rubber hand puppets, and we took the Tinker toys and we decided we're going to make Tinkertime Boglins, which is things that you can make for the little Boglins. Make little houses, make little cages. Make little environments for them. I like that, man.
I think it's really cool.
I like it.
And then let's go over Pilot Slam.
Pilot Slam. I like that, though.
Pilot Slam.
Took Seahawk, Atari 2600, and Wrestle War from the arcade, made by Sega. from 89. We put them together, so you had to fly your plane, and if your plane got hit, you parachuted out of the plane onto a boat that had a wrestling rink, and you had to fight.
I don't like to say boat. I like to say aircraft carrier.
Aircraft carrier. A big boat in the water. What if it was just a floating ring?
I don't know, Chris. You're awfully weird for a mammal. Like, you see, it's like saying human.
How about a floating ring
a little bit
instead?
more specific.
How about okay, forget with that. It's not a boat. It's a big floating ring, and it's got like stands and everything.
It's like an oil rig.
Well,
that's just a big platform.
No, I'm just saying a big.
So what happens if you go up on the rope and you fall off?
I'm saying a wrestling ring.
That's just floating in the water.
Yeah, but no, it's bigger than just the ring. It's got like stadium seats, like the bleachers around it.
Why don't we have it where it can go into different environments? And there's some like, oh, they're flying. They're doing a dog fight over Antarctica, and now you're fighting. Now you land on an iceberg.
Hold on, is the second player flying a plane too?
Who?
Second player flying a plane too?
Second player is not flying a plane.
Second player not flying a plane too?
No.
I thought maybe
that's the whole part.
That's the sequel. That'll be the sequel.
But no, what's the purpose of that then? If you're both in a plane,
and then you have to fight. I won this one, and then they land out, and then I get you. No, I agree. I agree.
There's nobody here.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So
all right. Anyway, what'd you like? What was your favorite, man?
My favorite out of all of these. Let me go back.
Because I'm gonna tell you.
I'm gonna say the game is pretty decent. The movie, I can see the movie being made, Chris. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can see that being made.
They should just make it.
The TV show, we did the best we could with it.
Yeah.
And then I get to Boglins.
I'm going to say this about the toys, Toy Squat.
Say it.
Say it. I have enjoyed everything we've made. And I don't know if it's because...
It's different. It's not a medium.
Dude, even the Cabbage Patch Hug-a-Bunch crap. Like, But we still made something... But I'm saying our things that we make are just cool. I just enjoy them.
They're different. They're fun. It's different.
I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know. For me,
I don't know. Gosh, man,
it's the toy of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to be the game. I'm going to say the game because
I don't want to say I'm not going to pick the game because we always pick the games.
Pick the game. If you think the game is better, you pick the game. Don't do that. You pick. You like the game.
Boglins are still just Boglins, and now they're just like
now you can build things.
You can take a Boglin and you can get Tinkertoys and you can put them together and you can do it anyway.
Yeah.
You don't need to buy.
I mean, you can't get the cool ones that we're gonna make for them.
Right,
you know, the themed ones and stuff. But yeah,
Cityscape.
I'm gonna pick Pilot Slam, but obviously close second Boglins. Tinkertime Boglins. I really like that title though. That was a good title.
It's neck and neck. The game is so awesome. Pilot Slam all the way, but it's just because Tinkertime Boglins, like it's still just Boglins with Tinkertoys built around it.
Yeah,
that's all we did with that.
But it's still good.
But it's still really good, and it's unique sets, and it's going to be really fun. But the game is just really cool, where you actually pick a pilot, and he's got a Speedo G suit, right?
And
the
knee
boots,
pads and the boots, and he's wearing a flight helmet.
Yeah. That regulate
good,
your,
man.
It's
good. It's dumb and good. I like it.
And all. I think it's a really neat idea.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it, Ken. Is that a show?
I think that's a show.
That's Chris. A show. We got another one down. 56 episodes.
Yeah. Next week.
Year
again,
2.
Every Wednesday, new episode comes out. We record every Monday on Twitch.
Yep. So
7
if
p.m.
you're not
Eastern Standard.
follow us on Twitch, on YouTube, the videos.
Every Monday Eastern Standard Time at 7 p.m. on Twitch, and then it goes up Wednesday morning at around 7
try and get it out
a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
But if you're looking to you want one central location, you go to RetroSquat.com. You go RetroSquat.com, you can get all this stuff. Plus, we also write articles. Kenny mentioned it earlier. He's just written an article about Friday the 13th.
Part 6.
Jason
Lives.
So get on there. There's articles on there. There's tons of articles on there. If you'd like to write an article, retro themed, get in contact with us by all means. Let's get you on there. And that's gonna do it, Ken. Episode 56, Classic Blend is I think it's a wrap.
Yep, I'll see you on the aircraft carrier, Chris.
Oh, you mean the floating wrestling ring? Sure.
Yep.
Okay.